First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And we are underway from Atlanta. Some strong running at the 20. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Throwing from the outset is Penix. And his first pass is incomplete.
We have to see what kind of looks this defense is going to throw at him as this game moves along, but they're in a zone to start. I do think we'll see plenty of man coverage as we move along, but the first throw of this one, incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll throw with Penix. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, that's one as a quarterback where you put both hands on your helmet and say, I can't believe I just did that. If he puts a little more touch on that ball, the receiver's still running. Instead, it's just an incomplete pass.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Smith. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now Geno. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Smith now to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback, maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. Now he's free at the 35. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 57 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Second down and 3, ball on the 7. Now Penix. He's got it. And the Falcons are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
To the air, Penix. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Darnell Mooney. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Geno now to throw. Short throw caught by Bowers. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta regains possession of the football. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Robinson. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
From the 23, here's 2nd down and 5. Here's Penix. Man open, that's Ray McCloud. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The rookie from Washington putting it right where he needs to. He's got his guys a first down. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here now a 3rd down and 8. And looking to throw, Penix. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Max Crosby in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raiders heading out to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Here's Smith. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Off of play action, here's Smith. He'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Throwing now is Geno. That's to Bowers once again. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. That one complete to Trey Tucker. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. 0 hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll fake it. Now Smith. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Hands it off out of the gun. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. These two teams all tied after 1. Back now in Atlanta, 2nd quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And looking to throw, Penix. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Max Crosby. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. A 3rd and long. You knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
That is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now they try the right side here. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Play action. It's Smith. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th.
Well, partner, I would say just avoid play action. But that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down. Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Robinson will try to pick it up. Fights through, and now a crease. He's still on his feet. He's on his way. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the shotgun, it's Penix. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Now a 2nd and 10. To throw is Smith. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
Now Smith. He finds his man complete. That's Bowers. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the football as they've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Boy, they had it at the 1. The false start moves it to the 6 now for 1st and goal. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And it's caught. Touchdown Raiders. Michael Mayer from 6 yards away. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Got an open man. It's McLeod. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
A play fake. Now Penix. And incomplete on the deep ball. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And that one too wide and incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now it's Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Buying time to his left. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Agnew now to return. It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. Well, the Falcons back out getting set for this next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
He scored their touchdown earlier, and this had a chance to be another. This secondary scrambling for answers, looking at each other, trying to figure out who is going to put the clamps on this guy, because right now he's absolutely shredding them.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Operating from the gun, Penix. There's Mooney with another catch. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 83 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They'll throw with Penix. That's complete to Mooney. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 4. Here's a screen for Robinson. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Bijan Robinson from 10 yards out. And the Falcons are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here. The Raiders offense ready to go. As we eke closer, last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge, because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Open man down the field, it's Bowers. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. It's a big play there for Vegas. And even 50 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Smith now to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Raiders will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And the Falcons going to get one more drive here in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. 30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. To the air, Penix. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
2nd and 10. Now Penix. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Penix working out of the gun here. He's got his target. That's complete. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. To throw again is Penix. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. From the 23, this is 2nd and 3. And looking to throw, Penix. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Koo knocks this one through the post. And that'll bring them back within 4. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. One final go for this offense here in this first half. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just 1 snap of the football. The final shot here before break. Smith. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the 3rd quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Throwing is Smith. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. He's going to air one out. He's got a man, complete. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. It's a big play there for Vegas. 44 yards.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the 3rd quarter. Another big play right there.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Smith. Over the middle, hooks up with the tight end Bowers. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Carlson on for the PAT. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's Penix. He's got the hook up to McLeod. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, Penix from the gun. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Smith. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Out of the gun, Smith. Rolling to his right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. A shotgun snap for Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 55 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. From the gun, here's Smith. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll make it second down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll go down at the 28. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now a quick throw out wide to Myers. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 7. Here's Smith. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Now they'll run on the draw. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Throwing now is Geno. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Kentavious Street, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they've got to be careful of taking care of the football and not turning it over for the defense to score additional points.
And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
Well, so much for being backed up against their goal line to start the drive. He gave him some breathing room and then some. I think the defense really got caught thinking safety, trying to stack the line of scrimmage. And oftentimes, if you can get past the initial grouping, there's a lot of room to run. The defense actually fortunate that didn't go farther.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Robinson with another carry. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. And they'll send the tight end in motion. And looking to throw, Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. So the completion good for 6 yards. And 3rd and 8 now. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and making sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Smith. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Geno now to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
Now Geno. That's caught left side. Myers with it. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. On second down, they'll run it here. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 76 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 26. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The offense on third down, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Now London motioning left. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
They'll throw with Penix. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And Pitts is going to pick up a Falcons first down as he gets this up past the 40. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll go play action here with Penix. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now Penix. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
To the air, Penix. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. Fourth quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. He'll look to throw. Completes a Mooney on the slant. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Oh, good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Smith now to throw. Tucker hauls it in over the middle. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Two yards still to go. 3rd down now. Here's Smith. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here's a 2nd and 8. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. To throw is Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 28. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the sixth time he's been sacked in this ball game. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So all eyes on the Falcons. Down by 11, a little under 2.5 to go. They have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, but they need 2 scores. And looking to throw, Penix. That's complete to Mooney. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
There's Mooney with another catch. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. Here's Penix. They're throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Sets up the screen to Robinson.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
A big play looming on 3rd down. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Jacorian Bennett has it. Down the right sideline. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. And that pick 6, that was the first turnover forced by the defense in this ballgame, CD.
And what's even better is when they finally forced one, they kept the effort up and were able to return it for a score. They could hear their defensive coaches saying to them, hey, getting the interception's great. Can you do more with it? Turn it into a big play. And they did exactly that.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first three quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll look to throw. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
And he'll find McLeod on the right side complete. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They'll look to throw here on first down. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Operating from the gun, Penix. And a dump off here to Robinson. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. To throw again is Penix. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1. What a performance. All those points put on the board. And, Charles, it wasn't just by the offense. The defense put some points on the board as well. They were solid today.
Yeah, it was a complete effort to secure the win, and both sides of the ball made big plays. But how demoralizing is it when the opposing defense can take one all the way back against you? And that was the case here. That really sparked them to victory.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.